Good evening and welcome to the first of our high school concerts. It is my pleasure to welcome the 8th grade orchestra and the 8th grade band to their first quasi-high school event, and we hope it's the beginning of many more concerts here at the high school. This event is so special because the students get to perform together and kind of get a little taste of what it's going to be like in the future. And I have to say, 8th graders, this room sounds so much better than the FMS cafeteria, just so you know. With that, a shout out to Mr. Maycock and our media crew in the back. They record all of our concerts, which will appear on the YouTube channel that's entitled GHS Media. So you can go back and hear any of the concerts or the performances. By the way, it's the same thing at Farnsworth. There's a Farnsworth YouTube channel. So one of the things, since we're recording everything, if you have one of these lovely computers in your pocket, if you'd please turn it off or put it way down, because that whole vibrate thing is really loud. The other thing is, once the hall is dark, if you turn on your phone, the lights are very distracting to people who have worked very hard for this performance. So please just put them away for an hour and enjoy listening to some fabulous music. On the back of the program is highlighting an event that's coming up. We have our annual Barnes & Noble fundraiser for the Guilderland Music Parents and Friends. We have quite a few Guilderland musicians who will be performing there, and we get a portion of the proceeds from that day. We have performers from 5th grade, chorus and orchestra, all the way up through all of our high school students. So I hope you'll come out and enjoy it. The kids are very excited to play in the community, and it's a great event for us. And with that, I'm going to invite Helene. Are you around here? Helene Tretchell is president of the Guilderland Music Parents and Friends, has a few words for us.
So I see a lot of you here. Thank you for announcing our next fundraiser at Barnes & Noble on the 14th. Hope to see a lot of you there. Come shopping. It's a great before Christmas holiday shopping day. And we'll be there all afternoon and evening. The other thing I'd like to ask you all to do is to join Guilderland Music Parents. We have about 70, actually tonight 4 or 5 people joined, so we have almost 80 members. See more of you. There's more than 80 so please join. An event we support, I just went to this past weekend. My son played with Area All-State at Saratoga High School this past weekend. And those kids, their support they get from the teachers is so great. They missed their whole half of their rehearsal because of the snow day Friday and still played an awesome concert Saturday. So that's one of the things we support. We paid for them to go to that. About 20 kids, right? And there's other events coming up. There's All-State. We have a wonderful group of very talented kids that we're supporting to go there. And other NISMA events we support all year round. And there's also the elementary school events we support. So all the music events from 3rd grade on up. We like to help out all the talented musicians in the district. So thank you for your support.
And with that, I think we're ready, so I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Curo with the 8th grade orchestra and the high school concert orchestra.
Good evening. Hello. Thank you for coming out to our first concert of the season, and I couldn't be more delighted to present this group to you to start us off. This particular 8th grade is full of energy, and this high school concert orchestra also is full of energy. And it's just is they are the perfect two groups to bring together because there's so much joy in music and so many friendships in these groups. I can guarantee to you that it is one of the best parts of our day together in both groups. I want to put in that this 8th grade, I encourage all of them to continue up here because, well, first of all, you can see these are some of the kids that they're going to play with next year, and I just think they're all outstanding. And the 8th graders just have a lot of skill and a lot of pep and a lot of love for the orchestra, and when they come up here, we become just one big happy family with the bands and the choirs, and they just have a blast in the high school. So I do hope that they continue on in their musical endeavors, and thank you for all your support with them. They're just wonderful, wonderful kids. Our final selection is Justin Timberlake. And we have really enjoyed learning this piece, Can't Stop the Feeling. We wish he was here to hear it. And we are also thrilled to have Bailey Yurdan on the drum set. Thank you again.
gentlemen. Thank you so much for bearing with us while we have a little bit of a stage transfer. I thought that went pretty quickly considering how much stuff. Awesome job. With that, we're going to welcome Mr. Utter and the 8th grade band.
President of the band is Janine Cowell. Please welcome her for a speech.
As the title implies, this song is made up of riffs or ideas that are developed throughout the song. This song was written only 10 years ago by Brian Balmagis. The song starts with a simple rhythm, then adds layers of instruments until all are playing together. It is supposed to replicate a drum set. So imagine a bass drum beginning, then adding hi-hat, etc. until all parts of the drum are being utilized at the same time.
section, Winter Winds, depicts various aspects of winter and winter scenes. The introduction and first themes express the fury of winter, of blizzards with its snow, ice, and wind. The second section is signaled by sleigh bells and the melody in the low grass and low winds. This part is descriptive of winter activity, people going out about their work and play. In the third section, a waltz, reflects on the falling cold beauty of winter. A recap of the beginning leads us to the last section where winter should be ending, but gives us one more big story.
Good evening and welcome to our concert. I would like to first thank Mrs. Ellinger and Mr. Russo for having us join their concert and provide everything that we need. Please a round of applause for them. Thank you. Now think back when your kids were just in 5th grade, just little short 5th graders. Think back the great 5th grade celebration that they had. They were scared to come to middle school. They were scared to come to 6th grade. And they had that band celebration. They got to see how many friends they were going to have in middle school just being in band. Not to mention friends in their houses and their sports teams and this and that. But such a large amount of friends just from the music. They still have those friends now, 3 years later. In the high school, they're going to have the same feelings of nervousness. It's a new building. It's a new venue. It's a new place where there's so many more people, and now we're not divided into little houses, and we get to just be free for all, everybody. So it's a little bit intimidating, but they got used to the middle school. It was no big deal. Once they settled in the first couple weeks, they saw, wow, I can make lots of friends in band, I can make lots of friends in clubs, I can get involved in school and have a wonderful time. It's not so scary. It's going to happen the same thing here. You have all these band members, 8th graders, all these band members to become friends with. They would love to be friends with you. They're very welcoming people. They sat here last year or 2 years ago or 3 years ago and they had the same thoughts. And now they're having a wonderful time. They're still playing their instruments. They're involved in lots of activities. They're loving it. So don't be afraid to come to middle school, to the high school. Don't be afraid to leave the middle school. During the Ming Dynasty, China's Great Wall was significantly fortified to strengthen national security and protect against invasion from the Mongol tribes in the north. This song replicates those attacks and the aftermath. This year, I tried to get the students used to hearing music that is a little bit more dissonant, something that they're not used to. You can tell in the first song, your ear probably went, whoa, what is going on? That sounds completely funky. Are they even playing it right? It's so out there. Wow! That was my goal. I wanted to get them open to new music. That music was written in 2008, and this next song was written just 2 years ago. So it's really current music by amazing composers that have brilliant ideas, and they're getting their new ideas out. So you can expect this to be Mongol attack. Definitely some dissonance in there. Some beautiful melodies as well, but you're definitely going to hear your ear rattle a bit from the new sounds that you're not used to hearing. There are a couple solos in there, 2 flute solos and an oboe solo. They will be wonderful. When I did this, I listened to this song in June, and when I was choosing music for this year, and I heard the song, and I was like, I have to do this. I have to do it, like, immediately. This next group is so mature, they can easily handle playing dissonant music like that. I have to do it, I have to do it, and then I put it in their folders, and we tried it, and they hated it, which I thought they would. But once they got used to it, then they're like, wow. One kid from a lesson would say, I love this song now. And then another lesson, I hate this song. And then a couple weeks later, I love this song now. So they're starting to give them little by little, and now I think we're at the point where we all really enjoy the song because we're really good at it. We understand all the amazing things that the composer was doing when he wrote it, the song. I wasn't really smart in choosing the music, though, because we have 3 percussionists and there are 9 percussion parts. And I don't know why that just didn't really occur to me, but Bailey Yurden is absolutely amazing at percussion, and I was like, she's at the high school, they'll already be there for that night. Why not just ask them to do it? So she pulled together a bunch more people and brought them in, and we were supposed to rehearse on Friday, but it was a snow day. So they have never rehearsed with us before. Kind of scary, but they're doing absolutely amazing. So please, a round of applause for the percussionists. And since their name didn't make it to the program, I just want to announce them really quick. Bailey Yurden. Caroline Jameson. Give her a wave. Reagan Robert. Nate Joy. John Giordano. Dilmy Capriana, and Michaela DiFrancisco. All right, I think they're ready. I don't have to stall anymore. Thank you again for coming.
Mrs. Ellinger, Mr. Russo, direct the Symphonic Band. Give them a warm welcome.
we're a lesson group, but we're also the percussion piece to the symphonic band. So on occasion in our lessons, we will work on some bucket music, and then occasionally during rehearsals, I will pull the percussionists out from the back, and we'll go into a different room and bang on some buckets. We did this last year at the end of the school year, so we thought we'd do it again this year and involve the new 9th graders that were 8th graders last year. They may have been here for some of that to witness it. So we are going to play a piece entitled Kathunk. And if you're a parent of a percussionist, that makes a lot of sense. So this is our symphonic band percussion section as well as lesson group, and this is our rendition of Kathunk. Another big piece to being a percussionist, not only dabbling with strange instruments like 5-gallon buckets, but in between tunes, they have a lot of work that they have to do back there. They're switching parts, people are playing different percussion parts, so they have to move instruments around, so there's a lot of work. And part of the teamwork is just kind of everybody sharing the responsibility, and these guys do a good job at that. And then when they're ready, they give me the eye. We're going to play one more piece before we close out the evening. This piece will close out the evening. And it's sort of a very appropriate piece to be playing since we just had a snow day on Monday. This piece is entitled Snow Day Celebration. And this kind of reminds me, I grew up watching Rankin and Bass Christmas specials. And if you are somebody from my era, probably a little older than me too, you'll recognize this music very, very much so has a Rankin Bass music kind of flavor to it. But it's a nice, light and fluffy, wintry sounding piece. And again, it's very appropriate because we just had our first snow day a bit early this season. We're supposed to have some more snow tonight too. Thank you again all for coming out. We here at the Guilderland High School Music Department and FMS Music Department sincerely wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and a happy and healthy holiday season. We do have more concerts coming up. Early in December, we have our choir concert, and then in the middle of December, on the 19th to be exact, we have our wind ensemble, symphony orchestra, and jazz ensemble performing as well to close out the season. Of course, probably already heard, I was backstage, so I couldn't tell about our upcoming Barnes & Noble fundraiser as well. So we hope to see you all out there as well. Thank you so much for coming out. We will see you soon. This is our last piece entitled Snow Day Celebration. Thank you again. Have a great holiday season. We'll see you at the next concert. Have a good night.